Okay, now I'd like to make a motion to direct the manager to come back with cuts and the ramifications of those cuts for at least $400,000 or 1 cent out of this budget.
Second.
Can I ask a question? May I ask a question?
Well, we had a motion and a second. Let's wait. We'll have discussion in a moment.
Okay.
Do we have a second?
I got a second.
Mayor, do we have to put a limit on it?
Well, I think we're talking at least a penny. I mean, if we're going to cut a budget, you have to cut at least a penny out of it.
Okay, so that was Phil that moved and Bobby
All right.
seconded?
Dr. Kern, you want discussion?
Does this mean that if the city manager comes back with a $400,000 cut, that budget is automatically the budget that we will vote on at that time, or we can still vote?
Well, here's the process would be this. If the manager comes up with whatever number that it is, that would be put into a form of an amendment again. That amendment would be voted upon, either accept it or reject it. If you do accept that amendment, then you still have to vote to adopt the budget. So you're not done until you decide to vote to adopt the budget. So you could do her amendment, let's say it's $362,000, and you say 7 yeses, at least 4 yeses, so you adopt that amendment. That amendment now becomes the second amendment to what was introduced, and that's our running total. Then another motion would come up, do we adopt the budget that was introduced and amended once and amended a second time, yes or no? You say no, you still don't have a budget yet. So if a resolution comes up for an amendment that at least 4 people pass, then it becomes part of the document. Then again, a vote would be taken on the budget to adopt the budget as amended twice.
And if we don't pass the amendment, then the budget would come up as it is right now?
As it is right now, correct.
Leon, is this amendment changing it by $400,000? Does that require another introduction, or can
No.
we just do it by the amendment? Isn't there a percentage?
As long as, if we take a line item that's $100,000, if you change it by $9,000, we don't have to have another hearing. If we change it by $11,000, we do have to have another hearing. Any change of 10% in any line item would cause us to have another, but that's just another meeting, is all that would do.
Okay.
That would stop you from adopting on the 18th. You would have that amendment. That amendment would exceed 10%. You'd have no choice then but to have another public hearing on the amendment only, as strange as it may sound, and then take a vote on the budget after that public hearing was done. So, but don't worry about the 10%. If you want to change something, you change it. We'll discuss that when the time comes, but it could stop you from adopting on the 18th.
And I'm recommending that the clerk set up 2 meetings, work sessions for next week, so I can give scenarios. Either can be spread out with separation, of 3 council people each in private, or we can do it in open to discuss scenarios. Because when you're talking about $400,000, there's various ways we can get there, and I think we all have to agree what that way would be.
Absolutely. I think I'd rather have it a public meeting, if possible, have all the council members here, and I think the public needs to hear what reductions in services or what is going to happen in certain departments if we make those reductions. So if it's going to be, once again, if we're going to cut a budget, then we need to do it significantly.
Mayor,
I'd like to make a motion that
I'll second that motion.
we give the manager the direction. I think we've already done this.
yeah, I just wanted to say,
We've had the
Mayor, I
second.
do agree with you.
All right. Any other discussion on this?
Yes, Mayor, I do agree with you that politics was played here tonight, and I'm telling you right now, there's several people that just lost their jobs if we pass this like this. Okay? So
Will we come up with a date
now
so
the
I can
phone
get
calls
it
will
in the
start
paper?
coming in.
What did he say?
I said several people had just lost their jobs tonight with this. That's what I said.
If it passes.
For the meeting?
We'll see. We'll see who votes
All
for
right,
it.
Yeah,
Please.
you
We
need to
could,
find out from the council when the 2 good dates are. I mean, I'm here, so.
Okay, because if I can get it in the paper by tomorrow, it'll be for next week. I'm just trying to get a
Okay.
consensus of a date that we can schedule that meeting for.
So,
Just for the publication.
okay, I guess email out to all the mayor and council tomorrow morning, or if they can get back to Lynn first thing in the morning, give her dates next week, dates and times that you would be okay to meet.
Okay.
Can I make another caution as to what may or may not happen as you move forward? You do know we've used just about all the revenue that we have available to us. Some other times, well, let's just use another $100,000 of fund balance, cut $300,000 worth of expenditures, and that saves the $400,000. The revenues are practically all gone. So that's going to be an avenue where it's not going to be a little bit of cuts and a little bit of revenue that match together. You've heard me say way too many times, that these budgets are made up of how much you pay employees, how many you have, how much the benefits are, what the pensions are. You're not changing debt service. You're not changing gasoline, electric, your insurances for liability, et cetera. Those things will not change.
S&W, right?
You're down to how many employ, how much you pay them, and what the benefits are, and what makes the change. And we don't have any additional revenue to apply to the budget. I mean, maybe a few bucks, but that's just harming the future by doing that.
Well, let's see where it goes.
And we don't have control over pension or health benefits,
At
so
all.
we're talking about layoffs.
That's the point I was trying to make, and the mayor was trying to make. We're crunch time. What services are you comfortable living with less of?
And also, I hate to keep prolonging this, but as Jennifer stated twice already, is that we're April 4th, it'll be April 18th. There are rules on laying people off and how long it takes. Being in private business, if you guys say you're done as auditor, right, I say to Chris, Friday's your last day. That's all the notice I need, and he's done on Friday. I know. So you have areas where it will take some time to wind down positions, and you have sick and vacation time that you possibly have to buy back. It may cost you more to get rid of somebody in this year than you actually are paying them to stay
Well,
here.
Well, Leon, this is the problem, that we wait till April 4th to do this when we had it since January. But every year it comes to the last meeting, well, let's delay it, let's cut it.
And what will happen is that in 2013, you'll reap the benefits of all of it, because whoever or whatever will be gone by December 31st.
Well, let's see what's possible as we move forward.